Well, good day and welcome to another segment here, Fly Fishing Pass It On. Today, I want to talk about something where I get probably the most enjoyment out of my fishing. And that's running across some pretty cool old boys that have been on the water a long, long time. The people you meet along the road on these fishing trips and get to know along your journey in fly fishing is probably more rewarding than is catching the fish. And Today we're going to be talking bull trout. I've got my friend here, Bert Kutos from Calgary. Now Bert has dedicated, I would say, most of his life to chasing bull trout. So we're going to have a little chat with you, Bert. I really do appreciate having you join us today.
Let's do it.
And we're on the water fishing today, but we'll just take a little break and talk about your favorite species, and that's bull trout.
Absolutely, yeah. At least it was, and I came by it quite by accident. Bull trout came on a protected list in '95. And I used to fish for cutties and all that down south. And I was fishing, I'll give away the secret, it was Daisy Creek, which is a beautiful little creek full of cutties. And I hooked a cutty and this big fish came up and grabbed my cutty and got off.
Yeah.
I said, holy cow, I started to shake here. And I just happened to have one good-sized streamer on me, threw it in, hooked it on a 4-weight bull trout. My wife was there, and we were both excited. It took me 15 minutes to stop shaking. I said, hey, wait a minute. These 10, 15-inch fish are really nice, but this is special, right? And after that, I decided to try to find as much information as I could on bull trout. And I said, forget the rainbows, forget the cutties and all that stuff. Let's see what's out there.
Sure.
And, I started exploring the sheep, which was always my favorite, by the way. And I hope it's still good. And the more I caught, the more I learned. And at that time, strangely enough, I tried hard to find info on bull trout. There wasn't much.
No, there wasn't.
There really wasn't much. I said, well, I guess I'll have to experiment and learn a few things on my own, right? And the whole experience was just awesome. It was wonderful. And I thought about it in the old days, they used to take bull trout and throw them on the shore. And I said, what is wrong with us,
Right.
And, well, they're eating all the cutties. Yeah, they've been doing that since time immemorial. They belong together, they always have been.
Yes, they always did coexist.
Yeah. You see any shortage of cutties? No.
Right.
And besides, they prefer suckers, actually. But anyway, so that's basically how I got my start.
Well, that's interesting to know how that all began. But you're saying that basically the bull trout are more susceptible to eating sucker fish, the coarse fish than they are cutthroat.
I think the suckers are a little easier to catch
on the bottom. They
would be. Of course, when they're spawning, they're all together, and
sure,
the bulls have a couple of happy
minnows
meals
and so forth, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was great.
So that kind of does settle a bit of the argument about them cleaning out, cutthroats and all the others.
I know.
Trout in the system. So that being said...
Yeah, it's misunderstanding.
Yeah, it is.
Misunderstanding and total respect for a wonderful fish.
Yes.
It was based on ignorance. Yes, I know it was. But I think we're over that now.
Oh, absolutely. Now that bull trout are protected.
Yeah, they're protected, and a lot of people are fishing for them.
They're actually our fish of Alberta, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
They made the flagpole.
Yep, absolutely.
Very well sought after fish.
Yes, they are.
And they're quite abundant in many rivers in southern Alberta and British Columbia and probably many other places.
Oh, sure. I fished, the Kootenay with guides, and that's a wonderful, wonderful river to fish.
Yep.
Big bull trout.
Yes.
And even places, believe it or not, like Daisy, that you can basically hop across.
Yeah. Yep.
If you go there in July, and I guess people must have thought I was nuts. Here I was with a 6-weight fishing, great big 6-inch streamers on a cutty stream.
Right.
Man, I caught quite a few bulls in
Sure,
there. They're
sure.
there, you know.
Yep, yep.
And they'll make themselves known pretty quick.
Yeah, they're so voracious, and like you say, once you start catching these big predators, I mean, it is an addiction.
Oh yeah, everything's kind of, you know.
Yeah, you just kind of roll your sleeves up and go to
Yeah.
work, and that's, use big tackle, like you're using. What's your favorite rod? And
Well, you know what? In Alberta, I used a 6 weight for everything. Once I got to BC, it was a 7 or an 8.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking some big fish, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
And it's an experience I wouldn't have traded for anything.
Yeah.
Those memories
Yeah.
will be with me forever.
Like
you
the
know.
Columbia, is there some beautiful
Oh.
big bulls in there?
Yes, I fish
Like
with
Burns, you're talking about Burns?
Burnsy. Yeah.
Yeah, Burnsy, yeah, he's up in Golden.
Yes.
He's a great guide, runs a good company over there for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've known Dave for a bit, and
Yeah.
super nice fella.
Yeah. He's got.
From the Maritimes, you can't find him any better than
That's
that.
right. He's talking about going back to the Maritimes, and I said,
Is
"Why?
he?
There's no bull trout there, man."
No, there's no use going down there.
So, but anyway.
Yeah.
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 Um,
I was
yeah.
lucky enough to live over there. I lived over in BC when I retired. I moved there for 5 years. And the Columbia is quite a system.
It is.
And
It is.
it's over 2,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
And it's been dammed up. I mean, there's four or five dams on it now, I think, where it meanders through
Yeah.
Canada, the United States, and so forth
Right.
before it gets back into
Well,
Astoria.
we always went to the Golden,
Yep,
upstream of Golden,
right.
where he's got exclusive access, as you know.
Yep, yep.
Nobody else can drive
Yep.
in there.
I fished up there.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
And there's some great holes in there.
Oh, there's some awesome
you
water
know.
up there.
Yeah. It's not very long.
No.
It's, I mean, with the Kootenai, when I fished it with Adam Richard as a guide,
Yep.
we would do 24K floating a day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he'd work his butt off, you know.
Well, you've probably had to wade a lot of these rivers for bull trout over the years. You've clocked a lot of miles on the stream.
Yeah. You know what? It's interesting. I'm going to share what I think were my secrets to successful.
Okay. We'd like to ask. That's a good-
And again, since '97, I've caught probably close to 4,000 bulls.
Right, right.
And I would average between 190, 210 a year.
Right, right.
You know.
Yeah, you logged them and everything.
Which
I know
isn't
one of
a
your
hell of a
fishing
lot
partners.
of fish, but they were all special, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And well, I've always found, and I know it's bull trout fishing is becoming very popular now.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
and in my own sick little way, I like to think maybe I had a little bit to do with it.
Oh, sure you did. Absolutely. You're one of the pioneers, and that was why I wanted this podcast kind of started, Bert. We have some guests come on that are well known. I'm going to have like Jim Teeney come on here soon. We're going to be talking about some of his endeavors and some of the fish he's been chasing. And some of these guys are very well known. And then there's a lot of guys like you that have spent a lot of time that have got a wealth of information. And I was just so thankful that we could sit down and maybe share a little of that with our viewers.
And it's guys like you and I and us, well, long in the tooth guys. I think it's up to us to help educate the young guys coming up.
Yep.
That may not know all the intricacies or politeness or
Yes,
in the
exactly.
river or
Yeah.
I've had people ask me, what's your biggest secret of success for fishing bull trout? And I got to be honest, I didn't tell very many people that. I said, put on the miles. And you do got to put on the miles,
Yep.
But I've said, be the first guy on a river. Before the sun's even up, get up there.
It's
if
like
you're
that.
the first guy on the river, you will catch the majority. And generally I find around 10:30, things slow down pretty good.
Yes.
And if there's some you missed on the way, remember where it was, and maybe you'll pick them up.
Yeah, I've always, different rivers.
and
I've liked
start-
First Light. Yeah, it's very
and
good.
start first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Critical. Start at the shallow end, at the tail out.
Okay.
He'll drift out, and that's where the water gets skinny, and that's where they hunt. Critical, absolutely critical.
That's where you're getting all the
Don't go
bites.
to the head of the pool. That shit, there's nothing there.
Oh, is that right, eh?
Yeah, go when they're feeding. They're in
The tail out.
the tail end. Yes, Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's interesting
Yeah.
to mention.
And, you know, I'm
Because we're always thinking about using big heavy sink tips, get them down over the ledge where they drop off, and they're not really holding in there. Maybe they do hold, but they feed at the end.
Yeah, well, I've seen them hold. I've seen them laying on bottom of pools, and yeah, you will get the odd one, but the majority of them, they're not eating.
Well, that's
They're
a
just
really
resting.
good tip. That's a very good tip.
You know, they're just resting.
Yep.
Go find active fish.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you'll just drive them crazy, and eventually they'll just bugger off. You know.
And it seems that way with bull trout, doesn't it? They're either eating or they're not.
Yeah, they're either pissed off when they're easy, or they're territorial when they're easy, or they're not doing anything and they're not easy.
Now, what I understand and fishing bull trout as much as I did, I mean, not near what you have for sure, Bert, but they're a lot different creature in the spring and the fall.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes. A lot of people probably don't know this, but in order for them to spawn in the fall, the water temperature has to be 10 degrees. Not 12, not 8, 10 degrees.
Okay.
The gravel has to be a specific size. The water has to be at a certain level. And if the water is too low, they'll turn around and go back and won't spawn that year.
Oh, is that right, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, I don't think I can prove it, but I've heard the experts say a lot of them will spawn alternate years.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, they're not stupid. They're not going to go in 3 inches of water and 10-pound fish and try to lay eggs, right?
Right, right.
So
no, and that's really it. I mean, they live in nature every day. That's their home, and that's
yeah.
We're invading their home, not the other way around, and we have to.
And the bull trout are actually canary in the mine.
Okay, explain.
As far as health of a river is concerned.
Okay.
Yeah. They're very, very sensitive to disturbances and silt and,
okay.
you know.
So if you have a healthy population of bull trout, you got a healthy fishery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the feeding habits like these bull trout, like I say, they'll be attacking flies differently. In the spring, they'll be, they're different, then they'll feed different in the fall, right? When they're protecting the reds, then they become defensive.
Yes,
then they're defensive, right?
Yeah.
Then they're nipping at the tail of the fly. Is that correct? And they'll take the back end of an
just to say, get out of
articulated fly.
Yeah.
And in the spring, they'll eat the front. So you can't have two hooks in BC, so you have to have one or the other. So you have to.
I'm so glad. I hate double hooks.
No, I don't like them either.
If I had anything to do with the government, people will want to hang me for this.
No,
I would absolutely forbid treble hooks of any kind.
I agree.
You can take a big Rapala and put one hook on it and
it'll work.
do just as well and so much easier to release fish.
Yeah. So like I said, I think it's really important to know that, so the fall, the trailer hook's the one you want, right? That's where they're going to be nipping at the tail more so?
Yeah, well, you know what? Well, just to back off a little bit, Lance, who you really know.
Yes, Lance, yes, absolutely.
Who, like you, is an absolute fly tire extreme.
Yes, absolutely. He's a great
guy. So actually what we've done on those big 8-inch, 10-inch flies, is use a longer shanked hook to kind of cover maybe part of the back and the front. They grab it in front, you jerk, you're going to hook them anyway,
I see.
So
you're not really going to the articulated shanks too much, you just go with a longer shank hook?
Yeah.
That's what you fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Any color works as long as it's white.
Okay.
It outfished. It seems to outfish most other colors.
Yeah, white is a great color.
And I'm not a fly tire, but one of the things I'm going to take credit for flies, we use bunny. Bunnies is our favorite material, or his anyway.
Yep.
And he ties some.
Yep.
Maybe someday you can show some of the flies that he tied.
Absolutely.
And Just as a thought, I said to him, you know, where the fur kind of goes this way, as you pull it, it folds down. I says, why don't you tie me a couple of white bunnies, but flip it around so the grain is against the current. So when you pull it, it would do this. It would pulsate.
Right.
That was by far the best fly
I know exactly what you're talking about.
we've ever had. Because it would breathe.
I designed a fly years ago with rabbit. It's the simplest fly I ever tied.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I fished it was with John Randolph from Fly Fisherman magazine. I tied it with rabbit, and I made it pulsate.
Yep.
Okay, with the little rabbit tail. It's just the simplest fly that you can tie to a minute. And that fly I tied for trout. I sent it up to a guy for steelhead. It outfished everything those guys are throwing at him.
Yeah.
And it's just because of the pulsation.
Sometimes just those little
things like that make a huge difference.
Oh, God, yeah.
And some of these flies, guys wouldn't buy them in stores because they don't have a lot of bling to them, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're buying flies for bull trout, you better bring a hefty wallet.
Yeah, they'll charge you $25 to throw for.
$18, $25,
Yeah.
$28.
Yeah.
Would I spend that? Yeah, I did, because I didn't know anybody initially.
Right.
You know.
So is that the reason you hang around Lance?
No.
You guys have made a lot of miles.
Yeah, we've been a lot of miles, and we were actually introduced by a mutual friend of ours that belonged to the Calgary Fly Tyers Club. And, you know, I got to talking to Lance and John Eaton, and we turned out to be really good friends. And I got Lance into bull trout. I'm not sure he knew what a bull trout was. And I said, come with me this morning. Man, I'll tell you, one trip he was absolutely hooked.
Yeah, you can be ruined, eh?
He would never pass up on a bull trout trip.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely.
Even now he's saying, you know, should we maybe book 3-day trip without him this fall?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm thinking, I would love to, but I can't handle it right now.
Right,
you know,
Well, Bert, you're going to get back on your feet a little better. I know you're going through a little tough time right now, and you're going to get back for them big bullies. They're waiting for you.
Oh, they're
and it's just great adventure. I've been so happy to fish for them too, and you know, the thing is we should talk about. We chatted about this on the phone the other night. Is etiquette. Some of these new anglers coming out nowadays, I think it's really important that they know kind of what to expect when they hit the water.
Yeah. Well, I think basically it boils down to one thing: common sense. Like, how would you feel if you're fishing a hole and the guy walks down and sits up right next to you? You probably wouldn't like it.
No.
But it's done. I've seen it done.
Yeah,
I've had it done to me.
Absolutely. It happens all the time. Doesn't matter what you're fishing for or where it is either.
And there's a guy fishing, I will get out of the water, give him a long berth, and then go upstream of him so he's not being disturbed.
Yeah, I think it's really critical because in some cases, people don't know any different. So I think it's really important to realize when, and I say this when I was doing like beginner fly casting and stuff like that. People are newcomers. I said, you know, you go to a river, for example, you'll see a guy in a spot, and I said, don't walk in on him.
No.
Stand back and watch.
Yeah.
Watch them fish. You're going to learn a lot by watching them fish too.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if it comes to the opportunity where you can say hi to them or have a chat, sometimes these guys will reach out, because fly fishermen are pretty good people, most of them. And
basically, yes, they are. They love to pass on their knowledge.
Absolutely. So if you say I'm a and most of the time a guy will give you some tips or a few flies or whatever, so be very mindful of that. I think would make everybody's day much, much better.
Yeah. Well, and you're a master at it. I've seen you what you do here, and I'm absolutely in awe and total respect. I've seen you catch 5 fish in a row, and a guy fishing not far from you, that was just last week, not doing very well. You put your rod down, you went over to him, you showed him how to cast, and next thing you know, he catches 4 fish. And I mean, and that's the kind of manners that we really need.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yours was a little extreme. I think you went You know, I'm not saying a bad thing. I'm saying extreme to the good. Most people wouldn't want to stop fishing just to,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, helping somebody catch a fish, it's just a great feeling.
Yeah, it's great. You know,
It's great.
absolutely. I kind of look at it, you know, like imagine how many fish, you know, some of us people have been fishing a long time have caught lots of fish.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that one fish to a person starting out or whatever makes the whole difference.
Oh,
It's such a gift, you know, if you can help somebody a little bit,
yep.
it's a gift and you'll appreciate
And it's
yourself doing
you
it.
know,
It's easy to
the
do.
gift that catches on. 72 years ago, I started fishing.
Yeah.
It was in Vermont.
Vermont.
And my dad took me there through a friend in some stupid little creek, and I caught a little brookie. I was done. That's it. I had sneakers on, slipping and sliding all over the place, and I think I was using a worm in some kind of borrowed spinning rod, and
Yeah.
I said, wow. And I was hooked. I mean, after that, it's, you know, my dad he liked to fish, but
Yep.
he wasn't at my level. I started reading everything, Outdoor Life, Sports Afield, all those magazines.
Right.
I devoured everything, right?
Sure.
When I was a kid, I hate to say this, I didn't party very much. Say, hey, you know, Susan's having a party this weekend. Yeah, I'm going fishing with my dad.
Sure.
Or hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
No, I have no regrets. I have no regrets whatsoever.
Well, you've had a long journey, Bert, and it's not over. I like fishing with you and hanging out and visiting. It's been a pleasure meeting you and getting to know you.
Of course, I knew your name. I've read about you and didn't know you, but I said, man, this guy knows what the hell he's talking about.
Well, sometimes.
Oh, no, all the time.
Sometimes we get it right and sometimes we don't.
Right.
But, you know, it's a great sport. And like I say, I think, especially nowadays, like you say now with the internet and many other things, there's a lot more information out there.
Sure there is.
When you started, you had less than I had when I started. But I mean, I tried to learn how to cast out of reading a book. Well, that's like
me too.
Taking dancing lessons over a telephone.
And
you know, when you said something earlier that really makes a difference of if you want to become a fly angler or a damn good fly angler, be very proficient at it. It doesn't matter if it's golf or fly fishing or whatever it is. You've got to put in a lot of stream time.
Yep.
And you got to get up early and you got to get the job done. You want to learn how to cast. You watch these guys and you go to practice.
Yes.
And I think if you're a good fly caster, you're going to be much better fly fisher.
You'll be happier because you're not going to say, oh, for Christ's sakes, my line ball piled up again.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So it's a lot more enjoyable and
sure.
Be proficient at it. And you know what we'll do? I'm going to get some of those flies from Lance or you to show these people. We'll put that up in another little podcast.
Sure.
I've still got show that.
And Lance has got suitcases full.
Sure.
And I have a few boxes still myself. I would be happy to give them to you.
And we'll talk about maybe just do another little recap on fly lines and rods and flies and equipment you need if you plan on going out fishing for bull trout. And I must say, folks, if you ever, that's how Bert started, and we all started. That was the first time I've seen a bull trout. We came up and ate one of my cutthroats.
Yep.
And
I think most people just come in that way, right?
They're a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
And when you want to target them and make the journey like our friend Bert has done, it's been a long, long career of chasing bullies, and you're a wealth of information. And my thoughts on fly fishing, pass it on, is there's so many of you guys out there with lots of experience that are very happy to answer any question.
Absolutely.
Anybody comes along. Don't be afraid to ask. If you're a beginner or intermediate angler, most of these guys are more than happy to help you if you're coming in the right spirit.
Yes, absolutely. Treat people like you want to be treated, and you're well on your way.
You got her.
Yeah.
I'm going to thank you very much, Bert.
Well, thank you.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Let's get out and catch some more fish.
All right, let's go get some trout.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for watching Brent's Fly Fishing Instructional Series. He can be found on Brent's YouTube channel and Sport Fishing on the Fly.